What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hybrid Network and yet another DCEU video, where today we're taking a look at what might have been some original concepts and ideas that could have found their way into the Suicide Squad movie. Earlier in the week, we received some interesting concept art detailing some early ideas for the Suicide Squad movie. With any piece of concept art, it's always stuff that was left on the cutting room floor, or just original visions for certain scenes in the movie, and apparently the Suicide Squad movie had some very interesting ideas that were dropped from the film for whatever reason. Either they couldn't make it work within the narrative of the film, or it was just deemed unnecessary by the people working on the film. Whatever the case, I feel like it's worth discussing some of the images as they tell a pretty interesting story of what could have been. So without further ado, let's get started. First things first, Joker's design in this early concept art seems a lot more in tune with a more comic-accurate aesthetic, most notably the fact that he has no tattoos whatsoever. He's got the purple suit as well, not really going with that drug cartel look, but more of something akin to a classic mob boss. I'm not sure if this portrayal would have been any better than the one we actually got, but I can say that I'm not really sure why they went with the direction they did later on. It just seems like they had his aesthetic so perfect originally. I just can't wrap my head around why they gave him the tattoos and the grill and the leather coat and... let's move on. Not only did they seem to have Joker looking much differently, but it also seemed like the original vision was for the character to play a much larger role within the context of the film. Even having his own interactions with Batman, as we see in one particular image, he's just lounging about in the Batmobile. I can understand cutting this a little bit more, because it might have seemed superfluous to have a whole Joker and Batman interaction and relationship playing around when we really are trying to focus on the Suicide Squad. But a part of me wishes we could have seen this, if only just to get a taste of what the DCEU's Batman and Joker relationship is like before the Batman solo movie. Not only that, we even get an image showing the Joker standing alongside Enchantress in the same room that we see in the actual film's climax. I'm not sure exactly how this might have worked out, but it's interesting to see just how much of a presence Joker was intended to have in the final product. Of course, the scene in question could just be Joker was a hallucination for Harley at this point in time. I mean, we see something like this play out in the actual movie, so who really knows what's going on in this scene, but it just seems kind of interesting all the same. Possibly the biggest piece that stands out to me though is an actual design for the villain Scarecrow in the movie. It's unknown how big of a role he might have had, with some theories being he's the one hanging upside down within the shot with Enchantress, while others seem to be of the party that he would have had a cameo at most, possibly in some sort of scene with Joker and Batman. It's unknown, but in all honesty, I don't care what his role would have been. I love this design. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but Scarecrow is one of my all-time favorite Batman villains, right up there with Bane. And this design looks simply amazing. They just make him look so much like his comic counterpart while still making him creepy and unsettling. Nothing is lost within giving him the hat and the straw poking out of his outfit. He just looks so amazing. And I wish we could have seen this in live action. It just looks perfect for this character. But besides Scarecrow, some of the other members of the actual Suicide Squad got some interesting concept art, including a few different Harley designs, a more monstrous looking Killer Croc, a much more armored Katana, and interestingly enough, a much more colorful Slipknot design. All of it adds some interesting perspectives on what we could have seen in the movie, and it will always make me wonder at least what could have been. But anyway guys, those are just my thoughts. What's really important here is what you guys have to say. What do you think about the concept art for Suicide Squad? Do you think that the movie could have benefited from some of these original ideas? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to the Hybrid Network to stay all up to date on all of our videos as they come out. Thanks for listening guys, and we'll catch you on the next DC Extended Universe video.